Hey guys, welcome to this video. Today we are going to be talking about issues with mass airflow sensors and symptoms that you might have with a bad mass airflow sensor. So modern electronic engines calculate the correct quantity of fuel for a given situation. Several sensors and actuators come into play, such as the mass air fuel sensor and fuel injectors. And just as with any other car part, these sensors and actuators can deteriorate over time or fail. If your car is having performance issues, you might be experiencing one of the symptoms of a bad mass airflow sensor. So basically, the mass airflow sensor measures the air mass flowing into the engine intake. Measuring air mass is critical to calculate how much fuel to add to achieve the correct air-fuel ratio. The ideal air-fuel ratio is 14.7 pounds of air to 1 pound of gasoline, but that varies in the real world. Acceleration might require a rich AFR up to 12:1, while cruising requires a leaner AFR, sometimes as low as 22:1. If you guys have a bad mass airflow sensor, the engine control module won't be able to calculate the fuel injection correctly, which can lead to large issues with your vehicles. So here are the several signs of a bad mass airflow sensor. And one of those signs is a check engine light, because the sensor is hooked up to the PCM. The check engine light will illuminate if there is an issue with the mass airflow sensor, and it will generate a code, but filter and misfire codes can also be linked to a bunch of other things besides the mass airflow sensor. So it's really important if you guys have an OBD to scan it, just to make sure that it is the mass airflow sensor that's the issue. You guys could have trouble accelerating. If you're having issues accelerating into highway traffic or while passing, the ECM may be limiting injection due to MAF sensor issues. You guys could have a rough idle. Smooth idle is difficult to achieve without the proper amount of fuel. If the mass airflow sensor has issues, the engine may not run smoothly, especially while idling. You guys could have poor fuel economy. The mass airflow sensor does not have to fail completely to affect the fuel economy. If the ECM air is rich, it may add more fuel than necessary, causing poor fuel economy. You guys could have black exhaust smoke. In some cases, the ECM may air so rich that black smoke comes out of the exhaust, which also can overload the catalytic converter. Guys could also get hesitation or surging during acceleration or cruising. You might notice the hesitation or sudden abnormal power, which can be unnerving. Hard starting. Engine starting requires more fuel than idling, but the ECM may not command enough fuel injection to start the engine right away if the mass airflow sensor signal is skewed. A lot of these issues don't always mean that your MAF sensor has issues. A vacuum leak, a clogged air filter, restricted exhaust, a clogged catalytic converter, or a broken intake tube can mimic a bad mass airflow sensor. So you guys will want to have to check the intake system to rule those things out. So here's, if you guys have issues, if you guys know that you guys have issues with bad mass airflow sensor, this is how you guys could try to fix your problem. You guys could try to shake the dust out, or blow out the intake. You can take the intake tubing off, and then maybe take one of those air cans and try to blow any dust out that might be on the sensor itself. You guys could get a spray cleaner, the electronic spray cleaner you guys could get from AutoZone, and then spray it, or you guys can replace it. The mass airflow sensor is pretty much, for the most part, it's situated on the air intake air intake, and a lot of times it's on the air intake tube itself. It's pretty much, for most vehicles, it's right there under the hood, and it's very easy to get to. If you guys have issues with that, just you know, just remove it, clean it, or you guys can replace it. Anyway, if you guys have any of your own personal experiences with master airflow sensors and issues like that, definitely leave a comment about your own experiences. Please give me a thumbs up, please subscribe, all that good stuff, guys. All right, take care.